Some crimes haunt history like a shadow that never fades. They leave behind whispers in alleyways, unanswered questions, and nightmares that linger in the collective consciousness. Today, we dive into 5 of the most chilling, terrifying, and unresolved murder cases in UK history. Cases that shocked the world, shattered families, and remain etched in the minds of investigators and the public alike. But be warned, some of these stories are disturbing. Once you know them, you might never forget them. Let's begin. Number 1, the murder of James Bulger, lost innocence. Liverpool, 1993. A toddler's tiny hand slips away from his mother for just a second. That's all it took. James Bulger, just 2 years old, was led away by 2 10-year-old boys, a sight captured on CCTV. Innocent? It seemed that way, but what happened next was beyond comprehension. A child was subjected to horrors that no one should ever experience. The heinous details of what happened to James still haunt those who dare to read them. Why? That's the question. Not from a man, nor a monster in the shadows, but from 2 young boys. Psychologists have debated the case for years. What creates killers? Nature or nurture? Were they born with darkness inside them? Or did something somewhere go terribly wrong? Either way, one fact remains. A mother left a shopping mall expecting to go home with her baby. She never did. And time will never erase what happened that day. Number 2, the Moors murders. Shadows on the Moor. The Moors murders weren't just crimes. They were something far darker, a horrifying testament to how evil can exist in plain sight. Between 1963 and 1965, Ian Brady and Myra Hindley lured innocent children into their twisted world of terror. Some were never seen again, except in grainy, heart-wrenching photos taken before their deaths. Their playground? The bleak, isolated moors. Places once meant for childhood adventures became graveyards of stolen innocence. But what's truly terrifying? The recordings of their victims' final moments, the pleading, the fear, the helplessness. Some cases were solved. But the chilling reality? Not all bodies have been found. Somewhere beneath the cold, endless moors, the echoes of their cries still remain. And sometimes, when the wind howls over the hills, it's as if you can still hear them. Number 3, Jack the Ripper, the Phantom of Whitechapel. London, 1888. A time of gaslit streets, heavy fog, and a fear that gripped the city by its throat. In the heart of Whitechapel, a phantom stalked the night. Women, often outcasts of society, became his prey. Their bodies left behind as gruesome warnings, their lives ripped away with a level of brutality that even seasoned detectives could barely comprehend. The letters signed Jack the Ripper only added to the terror, mocking the police, daring them to catch a killer who seemed to vanish like a ghost. Even today, over a century later, we still ask, who was Jack the Ripper? A butcher? A doctor? A member of royalty? And the scariest question of all, did he ever stop? Because monsters don't always disappear. Sometimes they simply fade into the crowd, waiting. Number 4, the Ipswich serial murders, the Suffolk Strangler. A small town, a growing sense of unease. One by one, 5 women disappeared from the streets of Ipswich, and then, one by one, they were found, lifeless, abandoned. Police scrambled for leads, the public held their breath, and women locked their doors at night, afraid to become the next victim of a faceless predator. The media called him the Suffolk Strangler, but what they didn't know? He was hiding in plain sight. Unlike many cases, this one was solved. But what remains haunting is how easily one man lived among others, while harboring such darkness inside. How many more have walked among us unnoticed? Number 5, the murder of Joe Cox, a voice silenced. Not all murders are random. Some are political. In 2016, Joe Cox, a British MP, stood for compassion, for unity, for what she believed was right. But one summer afternoon, her voice was silenced in the most brutal way imaginable. A man, fueled by hate and extremism, attacked her in broad daylight. It wasn't just a murder, it was a message. But in trying to silence her, they did the opposite. Because today, Jo Cox's legacy lives on. Her death wasn't just a crime, it was a reminder of the fragility of democracy, of the power of belief, and of how one act of violence can shake a nation. But no amount of hate can erase the voices of those who refuse to be forgotten. Some crimes haunt history. Some change the way we see the world. And some remind us that monsters don't just exist in nightmares, they live among us. Which case disturbed you the most? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, because the next case might be even darker than the last.